Hi guys. So I want to read more into Ron Johnson. And it was interesting because a viewer, Janet, also asked if I would look deeper into that. He came up in my reading on Christopher Wray, and I'm like amazed that this guy wasn't more on my radar, this Ron Johnson. He's a real kind of slimeball, liar. He just seems right up there with like Rudy Giuliani and that gang. He's one of the guys who went to Moscow, 4th of July, 2016. I mean, it was just so weird. And then they come back and they're like, we should really just be friends with Russia. And Ron Johnson really likes to, he does that reversal thing where anything that Republicans are being accused of or that he is being accused of, he turns it around, right? Like this whole Obamagate thing, he's one of the main guys behind that. And what makes him especially dangerous is that as a senator, and he's a member of this committee, I'm going to put an article below. So I'm like more vague in my explanation, but you can look at specifics in that article if you're interested. But generally, he creates these investigations based on, and this has recently been called out, that he is perpetuating these Russian propaganda narratives. And he's actually, like, the question being, like, that he might actually be receiving these things directly. All these things that really serve Russia, but he does it in Congress. He uses his congressional powers to actually create subpoenas. I mean, of course, with the help of, like, the Bill Barrs and the Rudy Giuliani's. It's like if Rudy Giuliani was a senator is what we're dealing with here. And he just seems so especially desperate. To me, this is just my thoughts. I'm going to see if the cards have anything to say about it. If it were my guess, this guy seems like he's doing everything in his power to turn reality upside down, create false conspiracy theories, and serve Russia. So, he's a senator for Wisconsin. He's not just coming up on my radar. He is recently a star to Donald Trump. I think he has been before, but I know he's very proud of Ron Johnson for all these subpoenas. He's like trying to subpoena all these people from the Obama administration. Okay, what we want to do is look into Ron Johnson. Can you give us the scoop on what's up with this guy? Is he trouble? Is he bad news? Is he in trouble? Help us to see what's coming his way. I don't know if it's just me, but to me, it feels like he's shaking in his boots. But let's see what the cards have to say. Okay, so let's get into this read. To start with, I get the Queen of Cups upside down, covered by the King of Wands. Now, before I started my read, I was sort of having a conversation in my mind, sort of like, what is my card for Russia? Because I thought, well, I have these strong feelings that he's in cahoots with Russia, and I'm not sure like a lot of other people have a card for Russia. And I thought, well, okay, like Mother Russia, whatever. And then I kind of forgot about it. I feel like that's what this card is giving me. It's upside down, it's corrupt. Something about this little cup here reminds me of those buildings, the architecture actually, that cathedral in Russia, that famous one. And so I feel what we have here is exactly the story that we think we have, which is, well, here's our Ron Johnson protecting the corruption, the Russia corruption, right? He is hardcore protecting this whole Russian scheme and scam. And why is he doing that? Well, at the surface, we have 9 of Pentacles, money. And the way these pentacles are sort of, pouring in, like I think that there is some channel for them to be making money from all of this somehow. And this card very much being sort of this elite, wealthy, upper crust, living large, the highest, of society. And at the base, sort of beneath it all, is the World card upside down. This is a huge corrupt organization situation, and the fact that it is the world, speaks again to Russia and maybe other corruption in the world. This is like some kind of like corrupt world operation, which I feel a lot in a lot of these reads. So the money also connected to that beneath the surface, but on the, he's just Mr. Country Club up here, living large and, feeling pretty special. In the recent past, Prince of Wands, this spoke a little bit to me about, it's possible when he started out in politics, maybe he really earnestly thought he was going to be a good force for something, whatever he believed in. He really earnestly believed in it. But I also feel this speaks to his more recently being sort of a little hero to Trump, sort of the prince working for the king. So that's very much here. But there's something earnest about this, maybe once upon a time for him before he got wrapped up in all this stuff. Maybe he wanted to be a good guy. And moving forward, I feel him in this Four of Pentacles, that he is going to be questioned. I'm also a bit drawn to the woman in this picture. So we have this sort of wealthy, professional white man being questioned by a black woman or a woman of color here. I don't know if that's just a little too literal, but it just kind of, makes me wonder. I don't know, Letitia or Kamala, I don't know how that would go if she was vice president, and hey, maybe this is this is not in the long term. This is more recent. I don't know how seriously are they going to be bringing him in front of Congress and asking questions in the next 100 days or 80 days, I think it is now. I don't know, but I know he's going to be questioned. Someone is going to be questioning him on this stuff, whether it's an investigation or, is it FBI? Is it Congress? And of course, he doesn't want to be questioned. He wants to hold everything very close to the vest, but he's going to have to answer some questions. At the base, down here, sort of where we get back to sort of how he's feeling. Nine of Swords. Here's the absolute anxiety that I felt for him beneath the surface. Well, it is interesting because I keep saying beneath the surface. It's sort of, and it ties in with this because I feel the same sort of bad, like cruddy, anxious energy. Like, even just the colors here, the like reds and browns, it's just like this, it's just a very unpleasant, anxious, anxiety-ridden place that is inside of him. And I also think it's interesting, those swords. So, he's living in this state of anxiety, but also he's trying to turn it around and throw those swords at other people. So these are all these things I'm talking about with the subpoenas and the investigations that he is starting, so he can feel like he's the one throwing swords at people. It's like he's paranoid that someone's going to catch him doing something, so he just keeps pointing at everybody else and making a big fuss and doing this whole theater so that he looks like he's the boy. Oh yeah, he looks like he's the Boy Scout. He looks like he's the do-gooder, Mr. Moralistic guy who's throwing swords at other people. But oh my God, does he feel... It's funny because it's a bit of a swamp feeling with the snakes and it's almost like borderline like delusional paranoia or delusional anxiety. I think he feels guilt. And maybe that ties into this Prince of Wands. Like, this guy, there is some guilt, and that's what he doesn't like to face. And that brings me to this Nine of Cups. Ooh, I'm getting dizzy on this, which tells me we're definitely getting some stuff. So this Nine of Cups, I think I studied these for quite a while. And first of all, I also want to point out we have 3 nines here. I feel like nines keep coming up in my reads. And down here we even have another 9. That we would get 4 nines in this many cards. I think September is going to be quite a month. So, and it also is interesting because they're both 9s, and it's just like, this is him, and this is how he's trying to be. He's trying very hard to be this calm, cool, and collected and peaceful guy. on the surface. He's the one in control. Trying very hard to be in control while feeling like he's not in control. And this darn conscience that he has. I also feel in this Nine of Cups that he may be drinking in order to feel and act the way he wants to. It makes him feel like he's in control again. So I feel there's drinking. And possibly even an affair or women or something like that. Like, you know, and sometimes men who want to live like this, they do, even though it's so cliche, and I'm getting chills on that, there's something so cliche about it, and yet they all do it. They do that cliche thing once they get in that world. It's like, you want to feel like all this crime is worthwhile, right? So you can live like a king. So yeah, I almost feel as if, yeah, he can't quite feel okay unless, and I'm sorry to, like, you know, comment if he does have this personal problem. I don't enjoy that at all, but I feel like that might be there. Seven of Swords, of course, he would like to walk away, and it's interesting, and leave all these other swords behind, right? Like, if he can put down these other swords and sort of attack others, he'll walk away untouched. And I do feel how much he actually really enjoys the power that he thinks he's able to exert with his position. And then here we have, this is the long-term outcome, Eight of Pentacles. Now this is a card that can mean something good. It basically, though, is what seeds you plant. What seeds did you plant? Because they are going to be growing. And I did do clarifiers on this to find out, like, okay, so are things going to go well for him, or are things growing in a, you know, bad way for him? Well, we have a Five of Wands, which is just absolute discord, tensions, fighting, and then the Devil upside down. So yeah, there's your answer. It's not good. It is not going well for him in the long run. I felt I needed one more, and I got the upside down Ace of Cups, which tells me he's not going to be reelected. He's going to get dumped. I don't know how else you can read this card except, yeah, he's getting dumped. You know, so this being his corrupt ties to this stuff we're talking about, and people being very angry at him. You know, and you have to wonder with this Devil card, there are handcuffs in this card. I'll do it upright. If this Devil was upright, I'd think he's going to get away with this, and he's going to live large and have control over others and da-da-da. But it's upside down. He's not going to be the one in control. And look at these handcuffs. I mean, you have to wonder. You know, and he's definitely getting questioned here. So whatever it is, this is not good. At one point when I did pull this before I did the others, at the bottom of the deck, I had this Three of Cups card, followed by the Star, followed by the Nine of Wands, the another 9. And this does tell me a bit of a story. I believe he did work with others. It's not just him. You know, there's a group. And also, I even wonder if this Eight of Pentacles means that he worked with about 8. There were 8 of them that went on that trip to Moscow. I think that could be a little on the nose to think all 8 of them are the 8 that are being, you know, watched or in trouble. Hopefully legal trouble, that sort of thing. But I don't know if that's going to be exactly that 8, but maybe there are 8 of them. But I do think there are more, you know, maybe it's 3. I do think he's doing this with others. I know he has been mentioned with, like, Chuck Grassley, who's also helping to spread disinformation, and Lindsey Graham, I believe. They seem to maybe get fed these narratives to bring to Congress as if they're real and give them validity. This upside down Star card, though, tells me he's the guy. He's the main guy. And this is what I felt him to be like, guys, I got this. I'm at the head of this committee. I can write up, I can decide who gets subpoenaed. I can create investigations. It's going to be fun, you know. And here he is also feeling very strong and very sort of high up there in his committee and in Congress as a senator. He's using his power in Congress to help another country. Yeah, it's not good. And so after that, yeah, then I pulled these other cards and got that. And then I found this other little, I looked at the bottom of the deck and saw this other little story here that I think is interesting. So we have a Queen of Wands. I didn't get it at first, but I feel now that's Nancy Pelosi. The Lovers upside down. So this makes me think Nancy knows about this. They already have this, but I don't know what the holdup is on these things. I don't know how that works, but we've got Nancy and the Lovers upside down. She knows about this unholy union, this, with Russia and these guys, the corrupt partnership. The Temperance card upside down, I do feel that this is relating to the disinformation. Like you see the stream like that, like somehow they're getting the stream of, like almost like being like directed or, keeping their story straight, and spreading that stuff with the power of Congress. I also feel there's something about, because it's Temperance upside down, Temperance being balance, that there's something sloppy about what they did that has helped. So yeah, there's something sloppy. And again, with the Two of Cups, I mean, we've got the Lovers upside down and the Two of Cups. It's like there's a partnership. It keeps referencing that partnership. And when we start off with this protecting Russia, there it is again. And then the Ace of Pentacles. This is just like, this was the plan. Here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to work with Russia. They want to really help Republicans. Whatever it is. There's the plan. And the strength of having the president, their guy in power. That was the plan. Oh. That was the plan to get the strength. So, maybe going back to 2016, and maybe the plan to continue this. But then in the end, Eight of Cups, the loss of everything. So I do feel that coming. And, again, this guy makes me think of, a drinker it's like a hangover. This is a bad hangover. So I think a bad hangover is coming. And it is relating to all this corrupt partnership, this corrupt communication, this plan. So that is my read on Ron Johnson. He will go down. He won't be reelected, and possibly even worse. So that's my feeling on that based on these cards. So thanks for watching. Let me know if anything struck you, or if you had any other comments. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.